Greetings, everyone. This is Payman Lorenzo, your host of the Leaders What podcast. Today, I have a very, very, very special guest for you guys. Not one, not two. Yes, two, sorry. Two amazing guests. My new good friend, Amir and Orit. They're currently in Bulgaria, originally from Israel, and also spent time in Canada. We connected through the serving circle, I believe. And yeah, they lived in Canada for 23 years in Vancouver. And yeah, we had a wonderful conversation last week. Very fun. We just had with these guys, whenever we talk, we're just having fun with just like catching up with old friends. I told them, listen, don't speak from here, speak from here. Don't hold anything back, especially to you, my brother. I know what you are. So I'm the same as you. I love having fun. I love joking. I don't take things too seriously, but it's more fun that way. So we had a conversation last week and a little bit about them, about both of them, actually. First of all, let me see. Amir is a gifted channeler, channeling Archangel Orel. And yeah, he's able to access your personal file that you have written prior to your birth, your soul plan, and it can tell you where you're meant to be. So, wow, that's very captivating. We will definitely do an episode in the future, in the very near future, where Amir is going to show us his display his talents. He's going to do a live channeling for us, but not today. Next time, absolutely. What else? Yeah, they're speaking of out of the box business, they do these two people, they do everything out of the box, and we get back into that in a moment, because they have an out of the box business. They're helping people and families stay together and find partners and teach people to channel for themselves. They publish books, multiple books on channeling, science fiction books, social fiction writers. So and the recurring theme is all of their books have a message. That's the most powerful thing in any messages. And and Amir also is a volleyball player and coach. And he actually wrote a piece on volleyball. So a lot of good things about them. Amazing thing. We can do an entire episode just on volleyball, entire thing just about out of the box business, about how they're channeling, about everything. But first and foremost, I don't know if you guys remember last week when we spoke, I said, sure, we're going to talk about your business, but what I really want to know is have a look under the hood, so to speak, to see what's in your heart, to have a heart-to-heart conversation, to get to know both of you. Who's Amir and who's Orit as a human being, as a person, as a man and a woman, before the business man and businesswoman? Because what is business? Business, it's not a numbers game. Sure, numbers matter, but ultimately, it's a relationship nurturing process. We do business with people who connect, relate, and trust. If me and you guys, we don't connect as people, we're not going to talk, let alone do business. So this is why in my podcast, the goal, the purpose, the mission is to have a heart-to-heart conversation, hence the name Leaders with a Heart. So are you guys ready to rock and roll?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. First of all, before we even start, for people who don't know you, over and beyond what the very brief introduction I gave you, who's Amir and who's Orit? Let's start with Orit. Who's Orit as a person, as a human being, as a woman? Then we'll ask the same question to Amir.
First of all, I'm a mother of 3 grown-up children already, and I have 2 grandsons.
Beautiful.
And I learned psychology in university and worked in a very interesting project in Israel, helping teenagers in junior high school. And it was a very special work to connect with the children and to see who is at risk and who can be helped. So I loved this work a lot. And I also learned to instruct parenting courses and parenting connections between parents and children. And my heart is to be with people, to help people, to touch people's lives, and to help them to move from point A to point B. This is my thing. I like to listen, to see how I can help, how I can be a service.
Beautiful.
And I met Amir around 35 years ago. And
So
I
yes,
said, I said to all my friends that I'm looking for someone out of the box, creative, interesting, and I found it. So I'm happy. And through our work, I'm doing other things as well, past life therapy and
wow,
many other things. For me, the meaning of my life is to carry the vision that we have today for the last 25 years with our life that turned upside down with what happened to Amir, but he will talk about it.
sure.
So we have this vision to make this planet a better world to live in. This is why I wake up in the morning. And this is me, I think, in simple words.
Beautiful. Love that. We're going to unpack all of that in a moment. What about you, Amir? Who's Amir as a man, as a human being?
One minute. I want to say something about my wife,
Please be careful what you say.
Like,
But tonight's going to sleep on the couch.
if I don't say something good, she have a mullet and she's running after
Even
me. In the
better.
living room. Yeah, so be careful. First, I want to say that I was near her for years when she was working as a social worker in this job that she's talking about, and her dedication was something amazing. And I will say something. I remember that she would have to create committees that including a judge, a policeman, a social worker, to take a decision if to leave someone in the house or not. And this is a very tough decisions. And I remember, all the involved, like just try to think what size of the ego judge have, a lawyer have, a policeman have, and a social worker. So just to create a meeting between all these people in the same date was a serious mission. And I remember Orit would come to them, no hesitations, and she will put a date and she will find a date everyone can come, and they would come. And this was something that was not easy to do. She just concentrated the energy, and everyone knew that she's there for the kid. So they just came there and they did whatever decision they have to do. And I was always full of impression. I was really impressed, because how come usually you can get all these people in one date at the same room with this kind of ego of everyone together, if you know what I mean? So I'm saying she was very dedicated, and she really helped kids that had no parents, or at least parents that had no knowledge how to help them. And she saved many kids from going into crime. So I'm really saluting her. Thank you, Orit, for what you did for many years.
We
Thank
all
you.
salute you. We all salute you. Yes, beautiful. Wow. Amazing.
And I would say, and I would not say something like maybe about myself in a minute. I will tell something about myself as a story. It's a true story. My wife described it. It's easy. I don't think it was easy for her to decide to be with me, but at the end she took the risk. But I can share something why it was a risk for her. We were walking in a street in one of our first dates, and suddenly I disappeared. So what's happened, actually, there was a big garbage can, the size that the person can easily go in, like big. And I just climbed on it on a date. I climbed there inside, and I started to sort out if there's any treasures, because I like to do kids' toys from furnitures. I like to do things from materials, electric wires, or things like this. So I just went there, and I was I felt, maybe, I don't know if I thought about it too much, but from the other hand, I said to myself, she needs to know who I am. And I was natural. So she knew right away that I'm with my heart. I saw the garbage can, I went in, I took one or two things that I could use, and I went out. So she's really a special woman, because I don't know if many women would continue dating a guy that on one of the first date is going into a garbage can and going out with some stuff there out. So probably she saw something in me, and yeah, so we are 37 years together.
Beautiful. You know, that could be an amazing test for any man out there who wants to see if the woman he's dating is for real. Take her on a, you know, picking up garbage. If she stays with you, she's a keeper. If not, she made you a favor. You know, either way you win as a man. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah, it's a true story. Yeah.
Oh,
So, about myself, I would say that the most important thing for me, except for having a relationship with my wife and keeping my family, is to help people to reach where they're supposed to be.
mm,
And if you look at many people, I would say for sure, much more than 50%, they don't like their job. They hate their job. They hate every day. They really feel that they compromise in their life, that they don't like it. And with this information that I can get, I can give people the option to have a glimpse what they said before they came to this planet, to have an idea what they're supposed to do here.
mm.
And there's many stories that happen to people that change completely their life. It's not always easy to do the shifts because we can have different sentences in our head. Well, I learned A, now I will do B. But when you're working with the aura, when you're working in channeling, you're working with the energy, there is a compromise that you could find a way to maybe not lose what you learned, but also to do what you're supposed to do. And I can give a few examples maybe, but I don't know if this is fitting what you want me to say. Like, do you want me to continue?
Give us one example and then we're going to expand further later on that. Just a quick one.
Okay, so there was a person that was for years an engineer, like a mechanic engineer. And wherever he went, it just didn't go well. He was losing jobs, didn't find himself. This person was not really successful with this, didn't get a good salary. And when this person came to us, we started to work with him, this person came to do. And I saw that there's many sentences in a service agreement that are talking about him being a teacher. Now, think about it. An engineer put many years to be expert. There was a lot of peer pressure, family pressure to keep this position. And then to be just a teacher is a way lower in prestige comparing to being an engineer. But slowly, he started to do it. And as a private, maybe tutor and stuff like this. And at the end, he really learned to be a teacher. And he became so much more happy, so much more contact with young people that ask questions. And this person was a very good, knew how to explain things amazingly. Anything, he will explain. So he started to have really a new life in a way that he felt much more fulfilled, not in the lab all day, working with Orel, with machine, doesn't see almost any people on the time when he was working. So for him, it was a huge difference between being a mechanical engineer to be a teacher in high school. So this is just one example. He needed guts to do it. He had guts to do it. He did it. And I'm really proud of him of doing that. Sure. So this person, it's just one example.
Beautiful. You know, the ultimate pursuit in life for everybody, doesn't matter where you're from, is that of happiness. People want to be happy. That's the ultimate purpose. Doesn't matter. So probably, sure, you maybe make less money as a teacher than an engineer, but if you're happier as a teacher, and that's the most important thing, because the last thing you want in the morning, you wake up and you don't want to go to your office, you're just dreading. You're all stressed, and because of stress, you will not be happy. You will be frustrated, upset, in a bad mood, and before you know it, you will start to develop some medical conditions, and before you know it, you will have a heart attack, and you have not lived. What is the point of that? The money, sure, it's nice to have it, but you're not going to be able to take it with you. Whereas happiness, memory, that's something that nobody can take from you. It's yours. You know, so beautiful. Thank you. Now, I'd like to start with a series of rapid fire questions to further get to know you guys as a person, as a human being. Ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
If the questions are too hard, I'm hiding under the table here. So you will talk to my wife if it's too tough.
She's your spokesperson. She's your representative. She's your lawyer. She's your ambassador. She's your everything.
Yes, something like this.
She's your boss. No, just joking.
Also, I
Beautiful.
wouldn't say.
It's
Huh?
okay. No.
I think we are not the boss, like we are working like a team.
That's the most beautiful type of relationship for the two people to come together, not to compete, but to complement and, you know, help each other as a team. That's the most beautiful, ultimate relationship. So wonderful for that. So tell us, what makes you happy as a person? Let's start with a lady.
He's careful. All the time he's starting with you. You have a political mind. It's good. If you will
All right,
start
are you
with
jealous? I'm gonna start with you. I'm gonna ask the tough questions on you, brother. Tough questions on you.
No, if you start with me, you will be in trouble. So start with her.
I think I mentioned a little bit before, but I will expand that I love to be with people that are my cup of tea, people that I don't need to talk about the weather and I can go deeper, because for me, it's not interesting to talk about the weather. And it's always interesting to create a future. So in Canada, we created the educational center for children.
Wow.
We created many things. So for me, I less care about history. I really care what can people do in the future to make this place a better place to live in. So for me, to be with people that think, people that want to initiate, people that want to take an action, people that have critical thinking. These are nice moments for me. I also like to be with my friends, my children, my grandchildren. So for me, it's important to have the family around me, because for me, it's an anchor. Relationships for me are an anchor.
Yes.
And since Amir started to channel and we have this connection with a very enlightened being, we were able to form more a concrete vision of what we want to do. So this gives me more hope for the planet, more hope for my life, more hope for the future.
Beautiful.
And I see that I need to have patience, one step at a time. I'm a person that wants everything to be yesterday, but I'm learning to be patient and to do one thing at a time. So what makes me happy is people, is connection, is to help people. I think this is the most amazing thing for me.
Beautiful. I'm with you 100%. You mentioned something that is very powerful. You said history, you know, I loved history when I was in school, but why study history and dead people? And why not study the history of the future? Let's create a beautiful story. You know, instead of studying the past, sure, we need to understand the past, but also let's create a new field of, hey, create, build, and invent your own story in the future. Just like you're a director, you're a writer, whatever. What do you want? How do you want to see your ultimate life? Write it. Let's talk about that. It would be amazing if in school they had a history of the future, your history, and they teach that to kids. Imagine how the world would be different.
I have a dream. I have several dreams. One of the dreams, since I'm talking from what I've seen in my life through our work, I have a dream, and we have the tools. I mean, we have all the tools to do it. We just need to see how the energy will come together. One of my dreams is to create a course for singles where they can learn relationships and help them to find life partners, because I see there is too much loneliness, to my opinion, and I would like to help people to come together. So in my vision, I see lots of singers are coming together, learning our materials, which are a bit innovative, and talking also about energies and how to keep couples together, and even help them to match them a little bit if we see that part of them can match part of the other people that are coming. So this is, for example, one of my dreams, and I wish that one day we can make it.
Hey, don't wish for one day. Make today day one.
So we have all the materials that are ready. Everything is ready, like all the information came through the channeling. We are having all the experience for the last 25 years that we are dealing with people. And yeah, maybe you're right. And I'm saying it here so it will have an echo.
Maybe you can help us doing it.
Absolutely. You already focus on the big picture and you let Amir, teach everything about seduction and all that, especially the part that to take your women to pick up the garbage. That's going to be one of the modules, and it's going to be a very powerful module because nobody's expecting that. But if she passes that, then, she is a keeper. No joke.
I think you have a very good eye, the way you phrased it, because it's true. I'm a keeper.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Look at the result. What? 30 years, three kids and 3 grandchildren and countless impact around the world. Come on. That's no, seriously, that's amazing. So yeah. Amir, brother, what about you? What makes you happy? Other than making the boss happy?
If there is a tape here, for sure it makes my wife happy.
Oh, come on, don't say that, brother. Don't say that.
What?
Don't say that. You have an amazing personality. Let it shine.
No,
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
but I
yes.
have to be realistic, like, okay, it's okay. I just want to say a joke that my wife said that she's not interested in the weather. So there's a joke about the weather. I hope I remember this joke that an Englishman is coming to the Seychelles Island and is asking there the person in the hotel, what's going to be the weather tomorrow? So the guy is saying, look, here, the weather here is always the same. 365 days a year, the weather is all the time the same. So the Englishman asked him, well, then how do you start a conversation here?
It's really tough.
Well, you can say the same thing about England. And England is pretty much 360 days of the same weather, raining and cloudy,
But,
Yeah.
but they still made it an art and they are able to talk about the weather endlessly.
Because there's 50 shades of rain. You know that. Small rain, big rain, thunderstorm, cats and dogs raining,
Yes.
Awesome.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. What were you saying?
It's remind me that I always in England, I was there, I had the feeling that there is a kind of a private cloud that is chasing me. So like,
Just like in
really,
the cartoons, just like in the cartoons.
something like this. Yeah. What makes me happy? There's many things. Like for me to take an old leg from a furniture that I find, because usually I'm trying not to buy wood. I only get scrap wood from different places. So
Wow.
someone is throwing a chair. So I will come looking around that no one looks at me, so I will not look strange. I take a saw and I cut the leg. It's not easy because these legs are from hardwood usually. And then I
Wearing a
take
hoodie to protect, to cover your face with a mask, shades, almost like a gangster.
Yes.
No, usually they throw it. Anyway, so I take this leg and I make toys from that. Or I do, for example, a place where you could put pens or markers. And then I give it as a gift to someone that is doing something good.
Oh, beautiful.
Someone that gives a good service to the public. And also I'm trying to do it with my grandkids if I can. I teach them how to work with wood as possible, with hand tools and stuff like this. So it's a win-win situation. I'm saying thank you to someone that's doing good. I'm teaching them carpentry and I'm using something that anyway is going to the dump. So for me, this is something that makes me happy, for example.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
I can add that Amir is leading a small movement where you say thank you to people before they die. So he gave already hundreds and hundreds of people little gifts, plants, whatever, something to show them appreciation, a letter, so they will feel good with themselves and not on their grave. So
Love
Yeah.
that.
I can say something about that. I don't know if I think it's an important point. In my life, unfortunately, I had many chances to be in funerals of people. And I remember when you go to a funeral, there's people coming and talk amazing things about these people. And I was always saying to myself, you know, seriously, if these people would hear these things that people are saying about them when they were alive, maybe they would live a bit longer because they would be happy to hear that. So I have a rule, and sometimes people sometimes looks at me like, what is it? Like, why do you say good things? Like, you want something from this person?
Exactly. What do you want? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a kind of sarcastic listening from my point of view. Like if you say something good to someone because you want something from them. So
That's sad.
then I tell this story and I say, no, life is too short. And say to a person when he's alive, good things about him. If I will find something good about you, I will tell you at the end. I didn't find yet, but we'll see.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm in your thought. Please say it before my funeral, okay? I will do the same for you, okay?
But probably if you will be on my funeral, it will be like, this person was, and then you will faint and you will not say nothing.
You know, I was watching a movie a few months ago, and there was, in the last scene, there was a line, very powerful. It says, similar to what you just said, the world is full of lonely people who are waiting for the other person to make the first move. Because of the ego. Oh, I want them to make the first move, not me.
Yes.
You know, and the ego is the greatest enemy we have. The greatest enemy is not the person in front of you, is what's behind and between your ears.
Yes.
yes, sometimes people are insecure and they don't have self-confidence, so they are shy to make the first move. Sometimes they are proud. Sometimes they're really
Ego, proud, yeah.
On the deeper level, they are insecure and they need some support.
This is very important. I love that what you just said, both of you, and that is, say the nice thing to people when they're around. Don't take it for granted, because you never know when is the last time you talked to them. You know, life is very fragile. It can go like this. Don't take tomorrow for granted, because you never know. Say it. Call the person. Call your mom, your father, your dad, your family, whatever. Tell them I love you. Tell them thank you. I appreciate you. I'm honored. I'm proud that I have you in my life. Thank you. You're a gift. Say those things.
Yes, it's true.
This is if it is true.
Yes, if you really speak it from here. Yes, not from me just because you're trying to get something out of them. Yes.
Yeah, there is cases where people don't have good relationship with one of their parents or both of them. So then I would not say something artificial, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, this is one thing. What I wanted to share with you, I don't know if to share it. I will share it because you brought something here very sensitive to me, because I'm a writer. Took me some time to accept myself as a writer, because I'm a dyslexic person. So I have dyslexia. So it means that for me to write something, to read it, not to make mistakes and stuff like this is very hard. So sometimes maybe someone can take a third of the time for someone to write down something comparing to how much it will take to me. And you touched for me a very sensitive point where my father, like, think about it, 50 years ago, at least where I was, not many people knew about dyslexia. Dyslexia.
Yeah, dyslexia.
No many people knew about that at all. So my father treated me, he told me this, that I'm an idiot, that I will never do something, I will never reach something, that it's good that you have other two bigger son and a daughter, and they were in the university, so he's okay if I will be a shoemaker. But he didn't say it in a supportive way. He said it in a way of maybe a twisted way. I don't know if to insult or try to encourage me, but whatever, it was not falling good on my ears. And I was really never in a good relationship with him. And I learned that you have to be very, very sensitive. Like, if a parent is not automatically a good parent. There's parents that are supporting. There's parents that doesn't know how to support. There's parents that think a lot on themselves. And there is parents that take care of the kids that they bring to the world. So this is a very big issue. Some of my books is actually dealing with this, that if you're a parent, if you're creating a children, it's a very, very high responsibility. And
absolutely.
One, for example, one of the thing is that if you are, let's say, if you're separating from whatever reason, you really need to be careful what partner you are choosing, so it will work well with the kids. If the kids are small, it's even much more sensitive subject. If the kids are bigger, it's a bit less. But anyway, if you are not careful, you have to you can face the destruction of the family. So and many partners, I think more men than women, but I'm not sure anymore, when they go into a new relationship, because their let's say wife, they died or they left her or whatever, they like kind of forget their kids from the first connection, and they continue to the second connection, and they almost ignore, despise even their previous kids, and they put all their energy to the new family. And this, I wrote some stories about that. I hope it will come to print one day. It's not an easy subject, but I'm encouraging people that they are finishing one relationship. They need to understand that if there is kids involved, you never really finish the relationship with the previous partner. If you really want to be a good parent, you have to cooperate with them about the mutual kids, the kids that you have together, and you have to be responsible and be fair, be okay with your previous kids. You cannot just hop to another relationship and ignore everything that was before. So this is one of my tips from what I've seen, and I took care of into our academy that we have with different people about that, and I'm training people how you can do that and be more a whole as a person and not someone that neglects the kids.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm totally on this with you. One thing that I want to share what I learned since I had my spiritual awakening of the past few years is that, and especially you as someone who does pre-birth planning and reading on that, one thing I read and I learned is that we choose our parents, just like in high school, before you graduate, go to college, you sit down with your course counselor, they will tell you, okay, Amir, Orit, congratulations, you're about to graduate. What do you want to learn? What do you want to become? What school do you want to go? And based on that, they will counsel you, they will guide you to, okay, you should go to this university, you should go to this city, and so on and so forth. Same thing before you're born. You sit with your soul counselor, whatever you want to call it. And then what lesson do you want to master in this lifetime? Self-love, compassion, love, whatever. There's a fabulous author, Dr. Robert Schwartz from the US. He does exactly that. I'll send you a link to his book. It's called The Life You Planned Before You Were Born. And I will send you, he has many, many videos on YouTube. I will send you those after. He talks about that specific topic, like before we're born, we meet with a spiritual counselor and they'll ask us, so what do you want to learn in this lifetime? There's about 38, 39 major lessons, and we can only learn one or two of those lessons in each lifetime. So, and because of that, based on what we want to learn, you decide, do you want to be a man or woman? Do you want to be in what country, what time, and all that? What kind of environment, what kind of family? They're based on what you want to achieve. So when you, Amir, you mentioned that your father, you were not in a good relationship with him, and he was not very supportive. Did you do a reading, pre-birth reading on yourself to be in the present? This is what Robert Schwartz does. With his patients, with his clients, he takes them back. He goes back to the moment, the meeting with all the spiritual guides before the soul, when the soul is planning the next life. Okay, I want to master this. I want to learn this. Okay, this is the person I want to be, my parent, my mother, my father, my son, my lover, my enemy, whatever, all the cast, just like in a movie. And then, so when you mentioned that about your father, sure, it hurt a lot when you were growing up and going through that. But did you, did you do, first of all, first question, did you do a reading on yourself before we were born? What did you plan to learn in this life, and why did you choose this person, this soul, as your father? And then what was the reason your father was behaving that way for that? Because he was teaching you something. One thing I learned, probably one of the most powerful lessons I learned, is the tremendous power of questions and asking the right question. Before my awakening, when something bad happened to me, I was saying, oh, why me? What did I do to deserve this? Why? Why is life so unfair? Where is God? Why? And cry like a little baby. But that gives you nothing. Instead, now I'm asking a much empowering question, which is, what is this trying to teach me? What is a lesson for me to learn through this? And that applies to struggles, to hardships, financial difficulties, heartbreak, tragedies, anything. Ask yourself, what is this trying to teach you? So when you, Amir, now that you have the eye and the wisdom, not only of age, but also of being, being a channeler and being able to communicate with your spiritual guides, what was your father teaching you through that, by being unsupportive, by being mean? Because I believe that we chose our parents, we chose our pet, everyone around you, your best friend, your worst friend, the person that does something bad to you, your lover, whatever. We chose those people, just like a cast of a movie. Hey, I'm going to be playing this role. Who wants to come with me? Let's do that. So you, Amir, first of all, did you do a reading on yourself? If not, that would be very interesting for you to do it on yourself, to find out what is the major lesson you want to learn in this life, and why did you choose that father to play that tough role on you? I would be very interested to know that.
I will answer your question.
Please.
But first, I have a bad joke on that.
All right, go.
That unfortunately, my mother was a decent woman. And
she was a what?
A decent woman.
Decent, okay.
This dignified person.
Okay, decent, yes, okay.
Okay, I don't know if it's the right word to use.
Yes.
And like one of my options was always to say, I'm not sure that he is my father.
Really? Holy.
Yeah, but unfortunately, because I know my mother and I know who she was, this is probably not true. So this is out of the table, out of the picture. I cannot say that. I can tell you that I don't regret to have that my father was my father. Actually, I'm quite happy because it helps me through the years to support so many people with not supportive situations. And many years, actually, I had to raise myself just by myself because my mother died when I was quite young. And yes, so I was actually alone with my father. So, and after that, he disappeared. And so I was by myself in many cases.
What do you mean he disappeared?
He just disappeared.
He left the family?
He left, yeah.
Oh,
After my mother was sick for at least 5 years, and then she died. And then one day, my father just disappeared. Didn't tell me anything. And the next time I think I saw him was after a year or after something like this.
Where did you go? What happened? Did you ask him?
He just went. He just went with women. Just went to be with women. And so, but
How old were you back then? How old were you?
When my mother died, I was 15 years old.
Okay. And you said you had
So-
2 brothers and 1 sister?
Yeah, but no, one brother and 1 sister, but they are much older than me. So I
Okay.
was really mainly main person at home with my father and my mother was me. So it's not easy, but it gives a lot of power, because like my mother was very much in depression because of her situation. She went through a procedure in cancer that they cut all the muscles, all the breasts, they cut everything, they sterilize almost everything. This is was promoted by a certain doctor, I don't want to say names, but I think 80% of the women that got this procedure died after that. It didn't help that you clean everything, you take everything almost out from the chest and everything. And more than that, this makes all the people that going through this process, all the women usually, very much handicapped because they have no muscles. They cannot move almost their hands and stuff like this. So my mother, that was a very active person, was really in a deep depression with a lot of pain. So she was about 3 years in bed. So I would change her bandage from the operation, and I did a lot of massages to her, trying to help. But I don't think that it's helped too much. She still was very depressed.
Of course, yeah.
So I can share with you that just a few things that it helped me. So first, I'm not bothered from you dealing with cuts or bruise or wounds of people. If someone in the street happening something, I will not run away or collapse from the blood. I will go there, and I have some experience, and I'm helping them on the spot. Second, I'm sensitive. It made me, I think, a very sensitive person. I don't ignore. I'm trying to be with my heart as much as I can with people, and I'm trying to help in many situations. And I'm not listening to this voice of, well, time, don't spend the time, don't give this person attention, it will never end, or do your diligence and stuff like this, or do what you're supposed to do. So with this life, I know that, like you said exactly, you don't know when you're going to die. So I'll try to live my life live it in a way that I don't regret with what I do. I try to do the best I can, try to pay attention the most I can to things, and to take care of people as much as I can. So if tomorrow I'm gone, it's okay with me. I did what I could. I don't try to catch many dreams to say, one day when I will be rich, this and this will happen. One day when I retire, this and this will happen. No, I live my life, try to live them fully as much as I can, and really to support people.
Beautiful.
So I will answer about your question was that I did do also reading for myself. So I know some of the sentences that are connected to this. I can also say that, for example, that my mother, that she died, I'm not afraid to help people that are mourning. I'm not afraid. I'm there for them, and I'm with them on that. But I'm not starting to cry and stuff like this. I believe in movement. I bring things to move, to do in life with them, so they will not sink into depression. So this thing that how my father was, it taught me many things, what not to do. By the way, it doesn't say I'm immune against mistakes. I can make mistakes. Sometimes when I'm afraid, or when I'm very stressed, I could behave not nicely sometimes like him. And I need to remind myself, hey, wait a minute. You could choose how you do. You don't need to be in an automatic mode of what you've seen in your childhood or something like this. So, but I'm not immune against mistakes. Only my wife is immune against mistakes.
You're a very good politician, you know? You should run for office.
I can tell you one thing, that it's true what Amir said. It hurt his feelings because his father was a complete bully and ignored him and didn't take care of him. But it was like a flag for Amir to see really how to raise his family and how to take care of his family. And in my case, which is a bit common for both of us, and we didn't think about it, but later on we saw it, I also came from a tough home where there were terrible relationships between the parents, and my father was beating my mother as a way to solve conflicts. And they didn't have the awareness, and this is what happened in the house. This was a big drama to live there in the house, and I know I chose them. And for us, even without speaking about it too much, it was clear what we don't want to have in our home and in our family. Yeah. So it's really clear for you. And it helped us to create our home with our agreements, with our atmosphere, with our things that we wanted to give to our children. And yeah,
beautiful.
So I want just to add this, yes.
There's so much to talk about. Amir said, if you die tomorrow, if you go tomorrow, please don't go anywhere tomorrow. We need you, okay? She needs you. Everybody needs you. The world needs you. Please don't go anywhere. You're not going anywhere anytime soon, brother, okay?
I would just say that you talked about the soul counselors. Amir is receiving information from a very enlightened being, which we call Archangel Orel. And with him, Amir goes to the library that is hidden. Wow. Not Akashic records where a lot of things are written, but a very sacred and hidden library where almost not a lot of people can go there. And it's written that like all the files of every one of us are kept there energetically. And he can read and tell you every word you said and you wrote, not with a pen, but energetically. What are the things, the missions, the tasks, the behaviors you want to accomplish or be, which person you want to be on planet Earth. So it is around 15 paragraphs where people are describing the tasks, the mission, the behaviors they want to behave, to do. And he's going there with the Archangel and can dictate people, you said this, 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 and that. So of course, he also saw for himself things that are relevant, and he's telling people in courses and in private sessions why they came to the planet. But it's not enough to know why you came to the planet. Because if I will tell you, Peyman, that you came to do ABC, who said that you have the energy to do it?
Very true.
No one said that if Amir will tell you that this is what you said, that tomorrow you are going to do it. So this is the other part of what Archangel Orel taught us, and we teach people, is to activate your energy field in a way that you will get the support to do what you came to do. Otherwise, we are just gossiping about people. We just tell them nice things that they wrote, but what are they going to do with this? So if we elevate the energy in different ways that he received from Orel, the angel, then it's a win-win situation. You know why you came, but you also have the energy to do it. So this is the unique thing, I think, the most unique. There are many things, but the most unique thing in the channelings of Amir, and this is how we can give direction to people.
Wow, beautiful. Love that. Absolutely phenomenal. Wow, I have so many questions.
I can say a joke on that, but I don't think she will like this joke at all.
Okay, so later on we will.
As you know, it's rarely happened that I don't do something. I'm an active person. I will always do something. But I'm saying to myself, it's just a joke. I'm saying, if my wife gives me, say, like a number of tasks, cook, go to the garbage, which is a hobby of mine, okay? And other stuff like this at the end. So what I can tell her is, you know, I channeled my per-birth agreement and it was saying that right now I'm supposed to be a couch potato in front of the TV.
No.
Beautiful. Listen, guys, I love talking to you guys. Absolutely amazing. Let's wrap this up for now for part one. As I said, my MT is telling me, my most trusted advisor, this is going to be a long series with you guys, a very pleasurable, enjoyable conversation. And so let's resume that next week. I salute you. Stay safe, stay awesome. Amir, don't go anywhere, brother. You're not going anywhere. You're staying here. I want you back here next week. Same time, same place. We have so much more to talk. So take care, guys. I'll catch you soon. Take care. Thank you.
Bye.